Why does love, the one thing we're told to chase, end up making us feel small, broken, powerless? It's supposed to be the ultimate virtue, the thing that makes life worth living. Songs are written about it. Movies glorify it. People ruin their lives over it. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. Love can make you weak. Not because love itself is evil, but because what we do in the name of love is often the most self-destructive thing imaginable. Nietzsche once said, "Whatever is done for love always occurs beyond good and evil." And maybe that's where the danger begins. When you love, you stop thinking. You stop being strategic. You give away your power, your time, your soul, your identity, without conditions. And the more deeply you love, the more you're willing to suffer. Love convinces you that suffering is noble, that giving yourself up for someone else is romantic. But from a psychological point of view, love is often the gateway to your own self-betrayal. Think about how love strips you of clarity. You start making excuses for someone's bad behavior. You accept less because you're afraid to lose them. You tell yourself it's okay. They're just going through something. You convince yourself they'll change. You stay quiet to keep the peace. You give more, hoping that one day they'll see your worth. But they never do. Because the moment you place someone above yourself, they will either walk over you or lose respect for you. And either way, you lose. Nietzsche was no stranger to this truth. His writings are full of suspicion toward the soft, the sentimental, the emotional. He didn't believe in weakness being a virtue. In fact, he despised it. To Nietzsche, love was dangerous because it tempted even the strongest souls to bow before something irrational. It made lions behave like sheep. It made warriors trade their swords for flowers. And in a world ruled by power, that's suicide. We are taught to chase love as if it's the cure to all suffering. But psychologically, it often multiplies it, because love rarely comes without strings. It brings jealousy, fear, dependency, and expectation. The more you love, the more you fear loss. The more you depend, the more helpless you become. And in that helplessness, you forget how to be alone. You forget how to think for yourself. You forget how to be whole. We don't fall in love. We fall into obsession, into delusion, into fantasy. We fall into the arms of someone we believe can complete us. But that belief itself is rooted in weakness, the belief that we are not enough on our own. And when you believe that, you're finished. You'll accept crumbs. You'll beg. You'll compromise your dignity for a moment of affection. You'll call it love, but it's really self-abandonment. What's worse is that society glorifies this. It tells women that being selfless is beautiful. It tells men that being vulnerable is strength. It tells everyone that love means forgiveness, no matter how much you're hurt. But what if Nietzsche was right? What if these are lies told to keep people tame? What if love, as we know it, is just a socially accepted form of voluntary enslavement? Everywhere you look, people are suffering because of love. People who were once vibrant, alive, passionate, now reduced to shadows of who they used to be. People who stopped chasing their dreams, stopped setting boundaries, stopped growing, just to hold on to someone who doesn't even see them. People who stay in toxic relationships because they're afraid to start over. People who give everything and get nothing in return. Love teaches us to need someone, but Nietzsche would argue that needing is weakness. To need is to admit that you cannot stand alone, and the person who cannot stand alone is at the mercy of others. The truly powerful man, Nietzsche believed, is self-contained. He doesn't seek love. He doesn't crave validation. He doesn't beg to be seen. He builds his own world, and if someone joins him, fine. But if not, he continues, unshaken, unbroken. There is something tragically noble about unrequited love, isn't there? The endless waiting, the pain, the silent suffering. But in that pain, we forget the obvious. Why should love hurt at all? Why should something that's supposed to be pure feel like poison? Why does loving someone often mean losing yourself? Because love, when not tempered by strength, becomes addiction. You become addicted to how someone makes you feel. You need their presence like a drug. Their absence breaks you. You define yourself through them. Your mood depends on their mood. Your worth depends on their attention. And that is not love. That is slavery. Nietzsche's solution? Amor fati, love your fate. But that includes the fate of being alone, the fate of walking through life without needing someone to hold your hand, the fate of facing your own darkness without using another person as a distraction. He believed that to rise above the herd, you must be willing to suffer alone, to embrace your solitude, to find strength in your own silence. Modern psychology agrees in subtle ways. Codependency is not love. It's trauma. Sacrificing your identity for another is not romance. It's fear. Losing your voice to keep someone is not noble. It's cowardice. And the more you do this, the more your self-esteem withers, until one day you can't even recognize the person you've become. You start dressing how they like, talking how they prefer, dimming your light so they feel secure, and every time you abandon yourself to make someone else stay, you confirm the lie that you're unworthy of being loved as you are. But here's the cruel twist. When you stop being yourself, the person you tried so hard to keep begins to lose interest anyway. Because what they fell for was your fire, your individuality, your edge, not the watered-down version of you that love turned you into. It's a paradox. The more you love, the more you lose yourself. The more you lose yourself, the less love you receive. And this loop keeps going until you wake up bitter, empty, and wondering what happened to the person you used to be. So maybe Nietzsche was right to be suspicious of love. Maybe love, real love, is only possible between two powerful individuals who do not need each other, but choose each other. Not out of lack, not out of fear, but out of mutual respect. A love where no one bows, where no one sacrifices who they are, where no one gives up their throne. But most people aren't ready for that. They want love to heal them, to save them, to fill the void, and in doing so, they give away their power. They make themselves small, passive, dependent, and when that love inevitably fails, they fall apart. The truth is, love doesn't make you weak. What makes you weak is using love as an escape from your own emptiness. What makes you weak is giving your strength to someone who hasn't earned it. What makes you weak is forgetting that you are complete with or without anyone. Nietzsche didn't hate love. He hated what love turns people into when they lack self-mastery. Because the highest love is not sacrifice. It is discipline. It is choosing someone without losing yourself. It is loving without depending, caring without clinging, wanting but not needing. If love makes you weak, it's not love. It's a symptom, a mirror reflecting back all the parts of yourself you haven't faced, all the fears you carry, all the wounds you hide. And until you become strong on your own, love will always be a battlefield where you lose. So stop chasing someone to complete you. Stop calling dependency love. Stop glorifying pain. And remember this: the person who loves best is the one who could walk away at any time, but chooses to stay. Not because they need you, but because they are whole, and in their wholeness, they have room for you. That's not weakness, that's power. And that is what Nietzsche would call love beyond good and evil.